Alright, good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome back. I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded an episode of anything really, let alone just the Minecraft Survival series, so it's episode 24. Welcome back. It's going to be a short welcome back because if you've read the title or the thumbnail, I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in the thumbnail, but this is actually going to be my last episode of Minecraft, of YouTube really, and we'll get to that, but I want to start this episode off by talking about where I've been, a little bit more kind of elaborating off of the things that I said in the previous episode because I don't really think that I did a good enough job of talking about why I left, why I'm not making YouTube videos anymore. I'm sure not too many of you care and you're really just here for the Minecraft, so let's get into that. I haven't really been playing too much Minecraft off screen or off camera or whatever, but I have built a few things, so I wanted to share with you what I've built, what I've done so far. So basically we're going to start off by showing you what I've done off camera in the past, I guess. Basically, I built these things a few months ago when I stopped doing YouTube, and then we're going to cut to the more recent things, the things that I just started to build and that I've been working on, and the reason I kind of wanted to make this video, and yeah, if you're confused by that, I'm just going to roll the footage and continue talking, so here we go. Alright, so before I stopped making videos, I had a live stream. It was my first and also my last live stream, and in that live stream, you guys probably got to see a sneak peek of what I was doing here. I wanted to build this like huge 4x4 spruce tree forest, and I kind of accomplished that, but this was right after I took, or I guess demolished the forest that was already there. It was just like a regular taiga spruce tree forest, and I took away all the trees, and then I moved on and I did some terraforming, so let's see that terraforming. Okay, so this is what the area looked like before, and then this was the after. So this is after I did all the terraforming. It kind of looks a little bit too clean and too natural, but when I added all these different trees and rocks and paths, it started to look more natural, and that's what I was going for. I just cleaned up all the little puddles and weird formations where it didn't really line up, the dirt or stone or whatever. So this was kind of my attempt at just making things look a little bit more enhanced, taking vanilla and making it look a little bit more, I guess, realistic, but not exactly realistic. I guess just cleaned up in a way. And then the next thing that I started to do was to grow the trees themselves. So instead of completely making custom trees, what I was going for here was growing the Christmas tree like spruce trees. Now obviously these 4x4 trees always grow in some weird way, and some of them look pretty good like this one right here, but oftentimes you'll get like spruce leaves just at the very top of those trees, so I have to completely tear down those trees, and I get a bit of resources, some spruce logs and spruce leaves, so that's pretty good. But I was just kind of making my own custom trees here by altering the default 4x4 trees, if you know what I mean. And this is kind of what I was going for. So I was taking the regular looking Christmas trees and altering them, adding some more spruce logs at the bottom, making these stumps look a little bit more realistic, and making some smaller variations. And then my plan was to just spread these out everywhere and maybe get some birch trees in there as well. And so when I came up with the design of the custom trees, how I was going to do them, I basically just went crazy and populated the entire place with a bunch of saplings. I grew up a bunch of trees, and then I added these two bridges over here for a way to get to this side of the kind of landmass. I added some paths and was basically just brainstorming on what I was going to do and basically just getting a feel for the atmosphere. I really liked it. It looked like a huge forest and I was happy with that. Now I just had to make all of the trees look more custom, I guess. I had to kind of get rid of some of the podzol and customize it and make it the way I wanted it to look like. Maybe add some paths, maybe some cabins or things like that. Get some flowers in here and just mess it all up and make it look a little bit more realistic. And then the next thing that I did was created a way to actually get to that landmass. Now we had the two bridges that got us over the water, but we didn't really have a way to get to those bridges. So I went ahead and added a bunch of coarse dirt that took me all the way over here to these bridges. And I plan to do something else with that path and add another forest, but we'll get to that. So what I also did over here was started to populate this area, start to make it look, as I said, realistic. I added a bunch of different plant life and got some birch trees in there. I didn't really put those birch leaves on the trees, so they're just basically birch logs. But yeah, this is what the forest was looking like. Very overgrown, very naturalistic. I was really loving the vibe of this place. I had mushrooms and berry bushes everywhere, and it was just looking very random and kind of overgrown, and I absolutely loved that look. If I added like a cabin and maybe some campfires, I think it would have looked perfect, and who knows, maybe I'll do that at some point in the future. Alright, now while I was in this area, I actually worked on a few of these walls and kind of structures in stream, but I basically finished all of them. I didn't really detail the back wall, I didn't add leaves everywhere, but as far as the structure goes, I completely finished everything. The wall is all there, the roofs are all there, it's all completely enclosed, and I guess structurally, other than the back of the castle, everything is basically complete. And once the exterior walls were finished, I moved into the inside and started to plan out and work on the houses, or this village over here. I got one of the houses done. This is what it was looking like. I was pretty happy with it. I wasn't really sold on the roof. It looked a bit weird from this angle, so I did end up making some alterations, but this was the first house in this upstairs portion of the village. Everything was kind of looking completed, and I was really happy with it, so I decided to move on and build a few more houses. I'm not really sure if this was on stream or not, but I do recall showing you guys maybe one or two of the houses, so let's see what the rest of the houses look like. Alright, so house number 2 had a brick base with a spruce roof. Then we have houses number 3 and 4, which I'm personally a big fan of. They both have some kind of gray stone base and then dark roofs. House number 3, though, has a spruce outline on that dark roof. I think that just adds a bit more detail and kind of differentiates it, so it makes it look like these are completely different houses. They're not cookie cutter houses. And house 3 especially, it has something different going. It has this like porch out here that fills this area, and then above the porch on the porch roof there is a balcony, so completely different to anything we've built here. Obviously everything's pretty similar in terms of the materials we're using, especially the woods, but I do like the way that these two houses fill this back corner area. Then for house number 5, it's a little bit different because it's completely made out of wood. There's no stone or brick or granite base. It's just all wood, it's all brown, and I guess that does kind of make it look a little bit different and out of place, but I like when things look different and out of place. It adds some detail, it kind of attracts the eye, and it just fills the corner up well. Alright, then here's house number 6, which looks pretty good in my opinion. We went with that cherry roof vibe. Now, if you're wondering what that is, it's actually acacia wood. It's not orange though because of the texture pack I'm using. Now, if you're curious on what texture pack I'm using, I've mentioned this a few times, but maybe this is your first video, so I'm using an amalgamation of different texture packs, so I can't exactly link it to you, but if you want to use this world and you want to go into the world tour and you're saying things look different, it's basically a combination of Germsy Boy and actually Flips pack is the main pack that I'm using, but then I have some textures from Germsy Boy, I have some better glass textures, and then I have some UI textures that it's like dark UI and stuff like that. That doesn't really matter, but it's mainly Flips texture pack, so if you want to look at that in your own world, go ahead. Alright, and then here we just have a nice aerial view of all the houses that I built up so far, up to house number 6. I thought the area was looking pretty good. Alright, so I kind of got bored of working on all of those houses. They were a bit too samey for me, so I decided to step away, come over here to my jungle base, and fix my iron farm. It hadn't been working for a while. I have a bunch of iron, so I didn't really need to fix it, but I just kind of felt like fixing it. Why not? I AFK here sometimes and might as well be getting iron while I'm AFKing, so I came over here, I tried to see what was going on, and it turned out that some villagers were missing, so I went back to my base, got my villager breeder working, and I had to build out a rail throughout my entire nether. It took a few hours. I had to place down a good amount of rail, and I got new villagers over here. I needed 2, and then they disappeared or died or something went wrong, and so I got a bit pissed off, and I was just like, what's going on? And then I got 2 more villagers, and they kind of were there, but they weren't really changing profession, and my zombie disappeared, so I had to get a new zombie, and I don't know, I at one point I had everything working, and then I left it for AFKing, I left my computer on for AFKing, and everything was working. I came back to a good amount of iron, I logged off, I came back on the next day, I tried to do the same thing, just have another AFK session, and villagers were gone, so I just said, you know what, I don't even need the iron, I don't feel like fixing this. If I ever want to make a new iron farm, I will, but I'm just going to leave this be, and that's exactly what I did. Alright, so as I was kind of mentioning at the beginning of the video, a lot of the progress that I just showed off was kind of like 2 or 3 months ago. Initially, all of those clips were meant to be for the original episode 24 if I didn't kind of take a break or whatever, and I was going to show you guys all of that progress, but again, I ended up not making an episode, and all those clips have just been sitting on my PC for who knows how long, like I said, 2 or 3 months ago. Anyways, now I kind of want to catch you up on what my world is looking like today, so I've kind of been playing off and on for the past 2 months. I just haven't really been feeling Minecraft, but sometimes I'll hop on and play, and this is what it's looking like. So as I showed you before, we finished about house 6 or 7, and now I have this entire area finished. I've completed every single one of the houses. all the way around. You're going to just get a quick walkthrough of everything. As I said at the beginning, I'm going to be leaving you a world download, so if you want to, you can come over here and check everything out for yourself. But every single house is done here. You've seen some of them. You haven't really seen this middle house over here, and I guess I'll just walk through this area showing off all of the different houses. I'm really happy with the way that all of this turned out. I love this section of the village. There's a lot of detail. There's a lot of very different things that I haven't really worked on before, and I don't know, I like how it feels. It all feels very close together, and I have these like stands over here on the sides, and everything just almost feels as if this is some kind of real medieval kingdom. I guess that's what I was going for, but I really do like the way it turned out. So I'm just going to leave these clips running, and you can just see, and then we're going to cut off to something else. I worked on the forest a bit and just a bunch of different things, but this whole area I'm just really happy with. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is the spruce forest, the huge 4x4 tree spruce forest that I started working on, and I actually haven't made any progress on this whatsoever. It's exactly the same as it was in the other clips. You can kind of see this oak forest over here, which I worked on, but we'll get to that in a second. Anyways, like I was saying, I haven't done any work at all, and that's kind of unfortunate because I was really liking the way that this project was turning out. It's just incredibly boring to work on. I don't like making custom trees. It's just very repetitive and boring, and you have to collect spruce leaves and then place spruce leaves, and it's just kind of a hassle, and I don't really care to do it. Hopefully one day I come back and finish this out because I really do like the way it looks. Again, I don't like working on it, so I'll have to find some kind of compromise there. Who knows, maybe one day I'll come back and finish this forest and show it to you guys, but I don't know, that's years down the line, or at least that's the way I think of it right now. I'll probably never make a video again, so I guess you guys can kind of picture it. I wanted some cabins, I wanted some campfires in here, and I just wanted it to be like a very atmospheric forest, very natural and almost realistic. I guess that's kind of what I always go for, and very overgrown. I think you guys get the point though. Hopefully one day I'll come back and finish this project, but I honestly can't really see myself ever completely finishing it just because it's so tedious and there's so many trees in this area. Alright, so moving on to the most recent project that I've been working on, this oak forest. You can also see there's like a big tower in the background, which I ripped off from some image on Google or Pinterest or something like that. We'll get to that in a second though. Right now I want to talk about this forest. So as I was just talking about, we have the big spruce 4x4 tall trees forest on the left hand side. This is kind of different. It's custom oak trees. We've done this a lot in the world in different places, but I wanted this to be like a ginormous oak tree forest full of atmosphere. Again, all the trees hanging from above. You kind of get like the shade, I guess, in real life. If I turn on shaders, I think this would look pretty cool, but I'm just showing you how it looks like in regular Minecraft because, shaders are kind of weird and they're not shaders are really nice, but they don't exactly show you the way Minecraft looks. So anyways, moving on, we have this cabin right here. What is this called? Like a trolley, a cart or something like that, not a cabin. And, there's some horses that are supposed to be hooked up to here. It's going to be like a little salesman shop. Something's being sold here, I guess. I don't know. I just thought it looked pretty good. Again, I took this right out of a Google image picture. I didn't really change anything at all, but we also have a path over here. So I extended this out from the farm. You take a left from over here, and then you kind of have this island landmass connected by these bridges, and you can also see all of the trees kind of giving you that forest feeling, which I was going for. And so you have this bridge, you cross over to this bridge, and then you have this island right here, and there's a bunch of different vegetation on the island, and then it leads you off to another bridge right here, and it kind of takes you up the hill. I really like the way this hill is kind of turning out, and you can see all of the like tree lines, and you can see all of the trees bearing down. I have to add some vines or something like that and kind of add the vegetation everywhere here, flowers and all of that kinds of stuff. Just make it look very lived in, very natural, very overgrown. That's the look I always really go for. Now, moving on, this is the tower. Now, I'll put an image of the actual tower that I got the inspiration of, and I say inspiration, but I basically, again, copy and pasted it, so I don't take any credit for any of this work. I added that like cobblestone wall on either side, so that I came up with myself. Very original, I know, but this was all supposed to be this new whole area. I completely wiped out an oak tree forest, and I wanted it to be kind of like a more rich looking area, some houses, some flower fields and stuff like that, but I wanted bigger houses, and I wanted them to be kind of more separated and split apart, big backyards, stuff like that. You can also go inside these towers right here. Nothing really to see here. I haven't really furnished them or anything like that. I don't really do interiors, but looks nice from the outside. So yeah, I wanted this whole area to be very different from the entirety of everything else. You also have a pretty nice view here. Sorry, I'm kind of choking up. I've been talking for a long time now, but yeah, I kind of marked down some paths on this side, and I guess we can go take a look. This one path right here actually takes you off to the flower farm, so if I go up here, maybe you can get a bit of a better view. But yeah, this takes you off to the flower farm over there, which we worked on in a previous episode. This was supposed to link everything up. We have other paths that could go in different directions. I was actually thinking of maybe working on some kind of huge mine or something like that. I don't know, like a big hole in the ground, and then you have I guess pathways that circle around the hole and take you to the bottom. I think that could have looked pretty cool, but I guess everything here is just what could have been. Maybe I'll come back to it one day, but I was really enjoying working on this area, and I just kind of got bored, so I just left it be. But this was like about a week ago I worked on all of this. Anyways, though, that's it. That's what I've been working on. That's what I've done in the past few months. I know it's not that much, but like I said again, I haven't really been playing Minecraft, and this is where I want to talk about why I'm quitting, why I'm not really going to be playing anymore, and all of it really comes down to a lack of motivation, I guess. I just haven't been playing Minecraft. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if I've outgrown it. I don't know if I'm just bored of video games because I've been playing too many of them, because I've been stuck in my house for a year or two, and I don't know, everything's just not the same. It kind of feels stale, and I don't know, I always thought to myself, what do I want to do when I'm older? And I really like movies, so people would suggest to me, why don't you be a movie critic? And I never liked the idea of that. I love movies. I don't want to sit in front of them and critique them and be forced to watch movies. And I guess the same thing is kind of applied here. I love Minecraft, or at least I did. I liked playing it. I enjoyed playing it. It was a fun hobby. It was a fun thing to do on the side. And then I don't want to say I made this into a job, because I didn't. This was just a small kind of me sharing my world on YouTube thing. I never really planned to do anything or carry on with this. I just wanted to show off my world and show off my builds, and I feel like I've done that. So kind of going back to what I was saying about the movie critic, I took Minecraft, I took this thing that I enjoyed playing, and I don't play it anymore. Ever since I started doing YouTube and recording videos, I never play Minecraft on my own, or at least, I played last week and stuff like that, but I didn't record, and that was kind of refreshing to me, because, I don't know, it's almost like I took all of the fun away from it, and I don't know if it's that I didn't like the recording side or the editing side, or just got bored of playing because I almost forced myself to play and it just got stale. I don't really know how I feel. I don't really know how to express it. I feel like I've kind of grasped at the point of what I'm trying to say. It's not the same for me. I don't think this is something that I should be doing. Some people like making YouTube videos, others don't. I guess I fit into that second category of things. Hope you guys understand. It's not for me. I hope you enjoyed my world. I hope you enjoyed the YouTube videos that I made, the Let's Plays, the other videos that I've taken down, because I just wasn't really as proud of that work. I always picked out the flaws, but the Minecraft videos, I always thought I did a pretty good job at, so I kept all of those up. They'll always be up. I'm not going to be deleting the channel or anything like that. I'm just going to have to say goodbye. This is not something that I want to do, and I just hope you enjoyed overall. So, yeah. Alright, so yeah, that's it. I feel like I've done a decent job at explaining myself. I'm just going to change my YouTube name back to Alex Films. That's how we started. That's how I'm going to end it off. I'm going to put all of my items in this chest right here. You guys can spawn in, pick them up, do whatever you want. It's your world now, I guess. And if I have to sum everything up, I'm just going to say something like, I guess, try to enjoy the series for what it was, not what it could have been. That's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this series. I hope you enjoyed my videos. Have a great day. Goodbye.